Hi guys, I'm excited to share this idea. I've been working on this for the last couple of years with my students, especially with those with braces. Now this will work with any trumpet player if you have braces or not. It's a little different than what we've seen. My students know that I am a small engine mechanic as a hobby and as a side gig. And what I was working on a set of wheel bearings one time, and I got to thinking about the bearings, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Bearings are always there to reduce the friction. So if you got two ball bearings against each other, they will roll and keep moving with very limited friction. And usually what happens with trumpet players with braces, it's a friction problem. There's something in there that's catching their inner lip with the braces, but it's something that happens even if you're not using much pressure, because we do pivot the mouthpiece on it. And I got to thinking, well, what if we had the concept, this is just the visual concept, I don't really say we do this, I don't have my students do this, but I show them, is what if inside the mouthpiece was actually a ball bearing? And obviously you're not going to push against this ball bearing, you're not going to get very far, but you can roll the ball bearing. And in doing so, there's going to be less friction. So what I have them do is pretend there's a ball bearing inside the mouthpiece. And you are blowing across the ball bearing, either over the ball bearing in this way. So if it's here, you're blowing over the ball bearing like this, getting the air into it, or under the ball bearing, whatever one you prefer. And I found in doing so that they use less pressure. They didn't overblow, which is another thing a lot of people seem to forget, is the hole into the mouthpiece. And this is a skeleton mouthpiece, but you see it's not a very big bore. You're not going to put a lot of air in there, so we tend to overblow. And we overblow, we fight back with the muscles. And if you have braces, now you've got all that issue of tension, especially with mouthpiece pressure. But with the ball bearing, you're not trying to blow it directly into the mouthpiece, you're trying to blow it around and keep the friction. And then we found another way of doing it, especially with helping the register changes, whether it be upper register or low register. And that was to imagine that your bottom lip is another ball bearing, so that when they connect, so that when they connect, they roll. And then the air now goes between these two ball bearings and causes them to spin. And one of my students had a really neat idea, which I didn't think of, is, well, if I want to play higher, I should make the ball bearings roll faster. So the imagery he would have is to make these roll faster. And in doing so, he could ascend higher. And with braces, he was playing over high C. He was getting D's, E's, and sometimes F's. And comfortably with it, with braces. So it was just this idea. So when you take the trumpet, if you want to try this, is just imagine first that there's a ball bearing in the mouthpiece. And you're not trying to push into the mouthpiece, you're trying to spin that ball bearing. Okay? And if that's giving you trouble, or you're starting to realize, man, I'm playing a little too much pressure, imagine that the bottom lip is a ball bearing, and you're getting the two ball bearings to touch and spin. And it's been amazing what I've seen with my students. Give it a try. If you have any questions, let me know. It's just a neat idea to try. It may not work for everybody, but if it helps somebody, it's worth trying. All right. Thanks, guys.